What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with these lasers. I still think they are kind of in the way and they're not very great to look at, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. So I've been working on some stuff around the base here, guys. We've been increasing our storage capacity in our applied energistics. Let's go downstairs and take a look at this real quick. Yeah, we're collecting a lot of different materials. You can see some of our lights are starting to turn red. It's not good. So, the way these servers are set up is we have 6 drives in the front, 6 drives in the back for a total of 12, right? So we have 12, then 24, then 36. You can only have 32 channels on a dense Emmy cable, so that is way too many for one cable to connect all 3 of our servers. So instead of running a cable to connect 2 and then a cable on the other side to take up the extra slack, what I started doing was messing around with Subnetworks. So what we're doing right now, these 6 right here are connected to our main network, and then the 6 on the back on the opposite side, these are a subnetwork of these, all right? And then the same thing with this one, so these 6 are connected to the main, and then these on the back are a subnetwork. So that way we can, have more stuff on the same connections, but they're not using the same channels. Subnetworks are kind of one of those things that's hard to describe, really. But let's grab our networking tool. Or our network tool, I guess is what it's called. Let's grab this. So if we click on the front on these, we should see everything that's in our Emmy network, including, 18 of these Emmy drives. All right, so we got lots of stuff here. You can see our security terminal and Emmy interfaces and our fluid assembler, all sorts of crazy stuff. If we go into the back, this is a sub-network, so the only thing we will see is the 6 Emmy drives, the Emmy interface that connects this sub-network to the main network, and then some other various cables. Got our power cable on quartz fiber. Same thing on this one. This is a sub-network, so we only see this amount of stuff, but it is connected right here to our main network. Cool. So probably what we should do at this point, for those of you who aren't very familiar with applied energistics, let's jump into a creative world. I'll show you guys how the sub-networking works, kind of like a high overview, not going really in depth. But yeah, let's do that real quick and then we will continue on. So as you guys know, in applied energistics, you can have up to 8 things on a regular connection. Like if you don't have an Emmy controller, you can only have up to 8 devices on a network with no Emmy controller. So right here we have one device. This is using a channel, our Emmy terminal. Then we have another one. So we're using 2 different channels right here. Then 3, whoops, oops, mistake. Then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have a full network right here. If we put one more thing on here that uses a channel, all the lights go out and the network no longer works. Yeah, if we come over here, we can look in here. We see there's 32 Emmy drives on our disk. We put this here, everything shuts off. We can't see anything, all right? So you can have a maximum of 8 things on a network with no Emmy controller attached to it. This network is being powered through an energy acceptor. And yeah, we're using just this red cable. It's just a colored Emmy cable. There's nothing special. We're just coloring it red. And then we are using quartz fiber just to prevent data from transferring through. There is no data transferring through. This is just to help visualize what we're doing over here. So yeah, when you want to do subnetworking, you set up pretty much units like this. So you have an Emmy interface. This connects to your main network. And then you have a storage bus, which can connect to another subnetwork. So that's 2 separate channels. Then you have your drives. So we're using 3 things. And then our terminal here, just so we can see what's inside here, we have more Emmy drives. But anyway, if this terminal wasn't here, we could attach 6 disk drives and have all of those full. So we could have like 60 different storage disks in there. And then we could have another one of these units right attached over here, and the chain continues. We can do this indefinitely, just as long as we're providing each subnetwork, power. That's the only thing we gotta do. They can see each other. So here is a small subnetwork chain. So we're doing the energy acceptor that's powering like our main network, and then we're sending the power over into this subnetwork, just the same thing as this guy over here, just this little fella. In here, we can see everything that is stored on this disk, plus everything that's stored on this disk, and everything is stored on this one. All right, so if we look at this one, we can see there's only a creative energy cell and some Fluix cables. And if we look at this one, we can only see a creative energy cell. So the way this works, the further down the chain you are, the more isolated you are. You can only see what's on your subnetwork. This one right here can see what's on its subnetwork, plus this one's subnetwork. So we can see glass cables and the creative energy cell. But yeah, over here, only the creative energy cell. And then this one, we can see some interfaces and then the rest of the stuff. And finally, like on our main portion of the network, we can see everything, including our expensive diamond blocks, right? Cool. So yeah, we can chain these indefinitely. And the thing about these is you can put up to 6 drives on each one of these if you wanted to. Yep, so we can store a lot of stuff on this subnetwork, and then we can store a lot of stuff on this one, and then that way you don't have to run like, cables everywhere. You don't have to worry about as much with the channels. The only thing you got to worry about is that you have the interface and the storage bus if you want to add more subnetworks, and that you're only putting 6 disks on there. If you put a 7th one on there, you break the chain, and everything else down here will no longer show up. So you got to be really careful that you're only using up to 8 per subnetwork. But yeah, that's how that works. So yeah, back in our main world, we have our main network, and then we are subnetworking the backside of our little servers. So we have extra storage. All right, so like I said, underneath each one of these servers, we have a subnetwork that's connecting to the back. Let's take a look at how this is set up. So we have our P2P network connection right here. This is providing the connection to our main network. And then we have off of this bank right here, we have the storage bus connected to an ME interface, and that's connected to these 6. And then we are transferring the power through this quartz fiber. Very important you have that, so you're not transferring data. And then you have your power cable right here. We're just using the ME glass cable, and it's red. So that's the way all of these are set up underneath. Pretty cool. I like it. And that allows us to have all this extra storage on far fewer channels. Now, if we wanted to, we could have all of our storage being used on one channel, and everything could be a subnetwork, but that just gets a little crazy. We don't really need to do that. And then I've also seen in the past where you are trying to extract a lot of stuff off of a disk on a subnetwork, and it just doesn't have enough power, and it takes a long time to get all those items out because it's waiting for more power or whatever. Anyway, I prefer not to have everything chained like that. And like we also saw, if something happens, like, I don't know, I put too many channels right here, everything shuts off. It's just not good. Anyway, I'd like the subnetworking. I try to avoid it if possible, but sometimes it's kind of cool to use, and in this case, I think it's a very good use for it. All right, so last episode, we were trying to do the Awakened Draconium stuff. We were trying to automate that, and I ran into a problem where we tried to break the blocks, and the blocks disappeared because of the mining level. So I've spent some time over here. I kind of rearranged the redstone a little bit more to make more sense, I suppose. But it's basically set up the same exact way. I decreased the delay right here, so when we break the block, it's not waiting for it forever. Yeah, I've set this one at 128 instead of 256, so it should go a little bit quicker. But yeah, we still need to figure out how we're going to break these blocks. The block breakers will not work. You guys have suggested in the comments that we can use autonomous activators with a cobalt level pickaxe or higher, which absolutely makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Of course, that should work. The only problem is we have to make like 4 pickaxes if we're gonna do that method, which shouldn't be that big of a deal. But we're gonna want to upgrade those with the redstone so they break the blocks faster. Yeah, if we have to wait, a minute to break the blocks, that's going to add another minute before we can do the next 4 blocks, and that's just going to slow things down. So we want those broken as fast as possible. All right, so we have that option. Another option people have suggested is that we can use the ME annihilation planes, which those, as soon as a block appears in front of it, break the block. So there's ways you can turn those on and off and do that method, but then if we were going to do that, we'd have to have applied energistics hooked up over here, which means we would need our own ME controller over here, which is pretty expensive. So if we don't have to do that method, I'd rather not, even though that is, in my opinion, probably the coolest way to do it. But in expert mode is expensive, so I think we're going to try and not do that. Okay, so we need 4 autonomous activators. We need 4 cobalt level or higher pickaxes, preferably the ones with the fastest mining speed by default, so maybe Signalum. I don't know what the mining speed on Signalum is. That's not what I'm looking for. Where's the Signalum pickaxe right here? This has a mining speed of 13, maybe Enderium. Whoops, I hit caps lock. The Enderium pickaxe has a mining speed of 23. Oh no, that's way faster. What am I talking about? Yeah, we were gonna want an Enderium pickaxe head at least. Probably paper binding and paper tool rod. I don't know. We'll have to see how that affects the durability. We don't need these tools lasting for forever. We need these tools probably long enough to break 500 blocks, maybe. And then the Enderium by itself has reinforced 1, so 10% longer it'll last. Yeah. The durability says 2200, but the effective durability is 2400. That's because of that reinforced. Okay, so let me get some stuff done here. I'll probably make 4 autonomous activators. I will make 4 pickaxes. We'll hook those up, get some redstone modifiers on there, and see what we can come up with as far as getting this thing properly automated. All right, guys, so we are in the process of making the tools, and I want to show you guys what we're doing. So we're using Enderium pickaxe head. We are using paper binding and thaumium tool rod. Now, before you write that comment saying, Hypno, why are you not using magical wood? Because you get 2 modifiers per piece, etc., etc. Let me show you. So if we replace this, I guess the thaumium tool rod with stone tool rod, watch the modifiers, right? So we go from 5 modifiers to 4. So using the thaumium gives us 1 additional modifier. If we were to switch this over to the magical wood, it does not change the modifiers remaining. Okay, so modifiers remaining 5. If we do this, modifiers remaining 5. It does not have any effect. I don't know if that's something in expert mode that was changed or whatever. I know people keep saying that the magical wood's supposed to give you 2 modifiers per piece, and that you can make tools with ridiculous amount of modifiers. Can't do that in this pack anyway. So we're doing paper, thaumium, and Enderium. That's going to give us 1400 durability, which is actually a higher effective durability, almost 1600 pieces of things we could break with this, and then we can repair it with a piece of Enderium, which I think we already have bees set up right now that's just making the stuff, so it doesn't matter. We can repair that essentially for free. Cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and make 4 of these. That was a crazy sound. Yeah, we'll make 4 of these things, and then I'm going to start putting redstone on here. I don't know if we're going to do the nether star and all of the golden apples and all that stuff. I'll see what we can do and what I feel is appropriate, and we'll be back. All right, cool. So I made 4 of those pickaxes, and I had put redstone on there. In fact, I did the gold apple and the diamond block, and the gold block and the diamond, and the nether star on all of these. I said we would see if it's appropriate. It's appropriate. So by default, this has a mining speed of 23, and it now has a mining speed of, wait for it, 83. Yes, so this is quite fast as a pickaxe. I haven't tried how fast this mines yet. Let's take off our traveler's glove. Let's get that off of us, and let's try one of these, and let's see how fast we can break this. That's pretty quick, I would say. Let's try that again. So about 1 second to break, I'm fine with that. Okay, so that's great. Yeah, like I said, we won't be able to have these auto repair. We're not gonna do any RF, anything like that. What we're gonna do is just come over and use a piece of Enderium to repair this when we need to repair it. And we have like almost 5,000 pieces, so I'm gonna go ahead and just waste one so they're all at the same durability. Cool. All right, so we have this under control. Now we just need to get some autonomous activators, fill the autonomous activators up with the pickaxes, and then set some redstone so they left click for the correct amount of time. Yeah, let me get some more stuff done and we will give this a go. All right, guys, well, we got this all hooked up now. I think the timings should be about right. I did have to run power down to power up these autonomous activators to make sure they can do their thing. Yeah, I replaced the block breakers with the autonomous activators. The only thing I haven't done yet is set up a vacuum hopper. Yeah, when these break the blocks, they're just gonna sit here on the ground, but that's fine. We're just doing this for testing. Just get rid of all this old cobblestone. Yeah, unfortunately, when the autonomous activators break a block, it doesn't stick it in its internal inventory and it does not place it in an inventory behind it. It just breaks a block and they sit on the ground. So yeah, we'd have to use a vacuum hopper or something. But I am pretty confident to try this right now. We got 2 sets of charged draconium blocks in each one of those. So all we gotta do is flip this little lever. There goes the heart. There goes the TNT. All right, there's the heart ready to go. There is our charged draconium blocks, and there goes the 16 cores that need to be sucked up into the heart. Cool. All right, so hopefully this is going to work. Guess we'll find out here in just a second. That heart needs to explode before this pulse gets sent and it breaks those blocks down there. Do it. Do it. Cool. So there's the awakened blocks. I guess the timing still can be worked on a little bit. There we go. Awesome. So now we broke the blocks. We were able to put everything automated here. Yeah, we put the charged blocks in there. They turned into the awakened blocks. So that's pretty cool. There's a problem though. Where's my magnet? Come here. There is a problem though. For some reason, the next time this happens, as soon as a block is placed here, it gets broken immediately. Only the first time. Next time it's perfectly fine. And I've been sitting here trying to figure out what the deal is with this, and I can't figure it out. So the problem is, if I do this a second time, it's going to put the charged blocks here, but since that's the first block that's being placed, it's just going to get broken. Man, it's like, you get it figured out, and then there's just some kind of like a glitch or some kind of an error. I don't know. These things are set only to do anything when the redstone signal is set to high. So when it's getting a redstone input, and when it has a redstone input and this thing's activated, you can see the little thingy in the front here, you know, wiggling, doing its little thingy. But yeah, that is not happening on any of these. Yet when we place a block here, it gets broken and it uses durability on the pick. Let's actually take a look at this. So this pick has 1411 durability. Now it has 1409. So yeah, I don't know. I used 2 durability, which I guess makes sense. That's the way this works in the autonomous activators. I had forgotten about that until just this second. So the autonomous activators don't appear to be what we need to work. So I think we're gonna have to do the applied energistics method, which I didn't want to do because it's expensive. But I think we're just gonna bite the bullet and do it. So we're gonna make annihilation planes and probably formation planes. So we can place the blocks and then retrieve the blocks. Yeah, and I'll probably just run off the same redstone clock for all of this action. All right, well, let me get to work. I'm gonna build some more stuff, make this way more complicated than what I feel it needs to be. But yeah, let me do that and we'll be back, guys. Have you guys ever taken the time to automate something and then by the time you're done and you're happy with it, you could have manually done all of the stuff that you're trying to automate way faster? Yeah. That's how we are right now with this project. I feel like I could have manually made all the Awakened Draconium blocks way faster than taking the time to automate this, but this is kind of a cool and interesting thing in my opinion anyway. I've been having a lot of fun trying to figure this all out. So one of the main things that I've done that you might notice is I have moved the redstone away from right here down onto a little platform. And then we are using the insulated redstone conduits from Ender.io to try and clean things up and make things look a little bit more simple, I guess, even though they're not really simple. Yeah, each one of these connections has its own different color code. So we can send, I think it's up to 16 different redstone signals through the same cable. But yeah, we can specify where that redstone signal ends. So like light gray, for instance, is right here. And that starts over on this side. So yeah, I ended up putting in an AE system. We have an Emmy Controller here. Now, since we are playing expert mode, the Emmy Controller costs about the same as making the energy acceptor. So yeah, if we're gonna do applied energistics in its own location, we're just gonna set up an Emmy Controller because otherwise it's just silly. So we have an Emmy Controller here. We have an Emmy drive with 164K. We put a terminal here so we can see the stuff that's in there. I've been doing some testing, so we have some Awakened blocks in here. Yeah, we have the Emmy Controller that is sending a cable down to some Annihilation planes. These break blocks when this has power. And then we have ME formation planes down here. Yeah, these formation planes, you can set a pattern or whatever you want. So when these blocks enter your ME system, they get placed on the formation plane. You can set it so it places a block, or you can make it so it drops an item. We're placing blocks. All right, so since we're kind of doing an either or, we either want the blocks placed or we want the blocks broken. We don't want both happening at the same time. Yeah, we're using an ME inverted toggle bus right here. So when this section of the cable gets a redstone signal, the formation planes lose their connection to the network. They stop doing what they're supposed to be doing. We have ME toggle buses here, so when this section of the cable gets the redstone signal, the Annihilation planes do their thing. Yeah, so it's either the formation planes are going and the Annihilation planes are turned off, or the opposite, right? Okay, and then we have a redstone signal here on the purple, or magenta, whatever, purple. Yeah, we have the purple that's sending that redstone signal. Yeah, it's really kind of difficult to explain this in a way that's going to be nice. Just know that I spent a lot of time here. I've been doing a lot of testing, and I think this should work. So let's give it one more go. We'll hit the button. We send up the TNT, we send down the heart. The heart starts spinning and doing its thing, and there goes our Draconic cores. There should be 16 of them. Yeah, we've seen this a few times so far. It sucked up those cores, and now it is doing its thing. Going to turn those into the Awakened blocks. And then we'll see the Annihilation planes and the formation planes hopefully do their thing. If everything is set up correctly, I really hope this works. The amount of time spent on this is getting a little crazy. Cool, so there's our Awakened blocks. Come on, Redstone, do your thing. Don't let me down, Redstone. Okay, so it sucked the Awakened blocks in. And the formation planes... It worked! It worked! We did it! Automated! Okay, so now the next thing that we need to do, in order to make this fully automated, is to stock up our chest with the correct amount of all these different things that we want. Yeah, so we can do like 27... Well, we can do 27 maximum because the hearts don't stack and this chest can hold 27. If we hook this up to the EE system so we're importing from there, yeah, we could do a lot more. I don't really know how many of these we need to do, but what I do know is that I can flip a lever and then turn around, you know, tab out of the game, do whatever I want, and we will get those blocks. So what I should do is set up, well, I should time it first of all and find out how long this whole process takes. The time it took between turning those blocks into the Awakened blocks and it breaking and then replacing it might be a little long. In fact, I know it's a little long because I sat there and I watched and I was like, come on, hurry up. So anyway, we could shorten that delay, but I need to figure out the time that it takes for all of that stuff to happen and then set up a timer so it'll pulse as redstone automatically, nonstop, and then, yeah, it'll just make this stuff for us all the time. So that's eventually where I want to go with this thing. But right now, with all the testing we've done, by the way, my wireless terminal works all the way over here. So we have 117 Awakened Draconium blocks in the system, and our mini AE system right here has 20 more for us. So we have quite a lot of these blocks now. Yeah, 137 of them. I don't know how many we need. I know we needed a lot. We had to make 16 of these things, the Draconic flux capacitors, in order to make our creative energy cell. Yeah, we need 16 of those. So we're gonna need, I think, a total of 64? No, 64 and 16 more because we need to make 5 of the cells. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, I'm going to make up 16 of these Draconic flux capacitors. That's the next thing we're going to do. And then we're going to see if we can go ahead and get some crafting done and see if we can finally make our creative energy cell. Yep, this guy right here. This is what all the struggle's been for. Still have to make all the resonant energy cell frames. That's not a big deal. But yeah. Oh, you know what? We got to make the quantum solar panels too. Well, we got a few more things to look at. I'm going to try and knock out these 16 and we will be right back. Oh my goodness, guys. I thought it was going to be kind of simple to get to the point where we could make all of the Awakened flux capacitors. No, not so much. It's been a real pain, and then we're going to have to do this 4 more times. Whew. All right. So yeah, I've had to smelt down a lot of the draconium dust. Yeah, it's stuck in this chest. It needed 27 stacks of the stuff, so I filled up an entire regular normal chest full of it. Piped it into our smeltery, which I've upgraded to the pyrotheum a while ago since we had the pyrotheum bees, etc. Anyway, yeah, we smelted that stuff all down. And then there wasn't enough room in the smeltery to hold all the liquid stuff, so I started putting in this bedrockium drum. And then once we melted that all down, I sucked the stuff out of the bedrockium drum back into the smeltery so we could cast it onto the different like awakened energy cores or the awakened cores or whatever they are. I don't know at this point. So anyway, we had to craft up like 48 of those, and then I had to do like a whole stack of the draconic energy cores, and those require like 72 melted pieces of redstone each. Anyway, guys, we've been at this for forever. Numbers are running to each other. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Let's see if we can craft 16 of these things. It looks like we have everything finally available. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah, each one of these required a lot of redstone. I think it was 8 stacks of redstone blocks that I needed to melt down in order to make all of these wyvern energy cores. Yeah, it got kind of crazy there for a while. A lot of the melted draconium stuff for these. Oh man, so much stuff goes into this, guys. 23 awakened draconium blocks. Yeah, lots of stuff. Anyway, let's do it. Let's craft these up. Let's stop talking about it. Let's just get this done. It's only going to take 15 more seconds. I don't think that's an accurate number. Yeah, so while this thing is going, let's go ahead and make ourselves a dyer table. A dyer crafting table. This requires a lot of crafting tables to turn into compressed crafting tables to turn into a double compressed. And some nether stars, lots of planks, lots of diamonds. Yep, let's do it. Let's craft that one up. That shouldn't take nearly as long. Should almost be done, I think, unless we're waiting on something. Oh, now it's done. Okay, so dyer crafting table. I have never, even in creative mode, set one of these things down and looked at it, so I don't even know what to expect here. Ah, okay, so it's just a gigantic crafting grid is all it is. Now, does this keep stuff in it? It does. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that is really, really good. So if we look at the creative energy cell, once again, we can start putting in all the different blocks. Okay. Let's grab the Galgadorian. Okay, so we needed this many. Yeah, I've crafted up a lot of these in preparation for all the different energy cells that we will be creating in the future. All right, so we needed that. I can't even click the right things anymore. So we got part of this recipe done. What else did we need here? We needed the pellets RTG, the resonant, the draconic flux capacitors. We got those all crafted up now. I don't want to waste power charging these things up. All right, let's put all those in the crafting, or I guess in our inventory so we can put them in the crafting. All right, so these guys are going to go, I think, right there. No, I think they go out one more. So I would like to get to the point where we can do it, and we are closing in on that point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pellets of RTG fuel. Gimme. All right, that should be all of them. Yeah, we just have to deal with the tick damage or whatever. So I think there was like one in every corner. And one here, here, there, and there. Cool. All right, so Lumium blocks are about the only other thing that we could do at this point. The resonant energy cell frames and all these other things we're going to have to worry about another time, I think. Do we even have enough Lumium? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we got most of this recipe done now. It's looking pretty good in the crafting grid. Oh, man. All right, so we have a lot of the solars in our solar world right now that we can snatch and then turn into the quantum. We need 9 of these quantum cores. Oh man, guys, there's the Resonant energy cell frames. Okay, stop exporting stuff into here. I need to swap that out for an import bus and suck that back into our system. Yeah, so we have the Resonant energy cell frames now, and I think it's just going to be a simple matter of doing one of these numbers. Ooh, there it is, guys. There it is. Creative energy cell. Oh, man. We did it. We did it. We now have a creative energy cell, guys. It's so beautiful. Look at that, 0 out of -1 RF. So yeah, this thing can output 100,000 RF per tick. Whew, this feels good. But yeah, we need 4 more of these things so we can do the creative portable tank, this recipe. Yeah, this requires 4 of those guys. And then we're going to want 1 for ourselves. So 4 more of these things we have yet to go. That feels good. Okay, guys, well, I tell you what, we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. I need a break from the game. This is getting a little out of control. Yeah, I need a break. I've had a lot of fun. We've made progress. We got our creative energy cell. Woohoo! All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.